economic empowerment. So let me add something. I think I will go into the basic definitions and basic concept so that the general public can understand who are watching us, or maybe they have some questions regarding this thing. The global role of women is caretaker, co-science, farmers, educators, and entrepreneurs. Throughout the history, the central role of women in society has ensured the stability, progress, and long-term development of nation. And women self-report more often their initiative in preserving child health and nutrition. Today, we are here to talk on women empowerment. So what means economic empowerment for the women? Economic empowerment is the capacity of women to participate in, contribute to, and benefit from the growth process in ways that recognize the value of their contribution, respect their dignity, and make it possible to negotiate a fairer distribution of the benefits of growth. For example, it enables households to make their own decision around making investment in the health and education and taking risks to increase their income. But there is also some evidence that economic empowerment, maybe for men or women, can strengthen vulnerable groups' participation in the decision making too. So make it sure that it is the 50-50, not the ratio should go towards 75 or 30. Now let's discuss the types of empowerment. In range from self-strength to efficiency building of women, however, empowerment of women now can be categorized into 5 main parts: social, educational, economic, political, and psychological. And it can be done through economic empowerment of women. Economic development is program, policies, or activities that seek to improve the economic well-being and quality of life for a community. So it can be measured through the indicators. There are 6 indicators. It's education, educational freedom, economy, contribution toward the economy of the country, and economic freedom of the women, household management, and decision making. So these are the 6 indicators by which we can measure the country's economic empowerment for the women. Similarly, let's talk about SDG 5, gender equality. There are some subheadings for women economic empowerment, which I would like to speak on it. Like 5A is undertake reforms to give women equal rights to economic resources as well as access to ownership and control over land and other forms of property, financial services, inheritance, and natural resources in accordance with national laws. 5B guides us that it enhances the use of enabling technology, in particular information and communication technology, to promote the empowerment of women. So these points are specifically designed in SDGs 5 to achieve women economic empowerment. 5C says that adopt and strengthen sound policies and enforceable legislation for the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls at all levels. So here is the question: does Pakistan has gender equality? It's $1 million question. Gender equality is a central component to development, yet Pakistan currently ranks the 2nd lowest country in the world for gender equality. Imagine. According to the global gender gap, women in Pakistan are also face of unyielding strength and represent some of the strong voices demanding change. Let me explain you that what are the reasons for gender inequality. The main factor responsible for gender inequality in Pakistan is incomplete convergence of capabilities, where women and men have to be on equal footing to education, health, and nutrition. Pakistan has been ranked 153rd out of 156 countries on gender inequality. According to the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report 2021, released on Wednesday. So while Pakistan has adopted a number of keys in international commitment to gender equality and human rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Beijing Platform for Action, and the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of discrimination against women and the Sustainable Development Goals. But still, here is a lot of work we have to do, because the gender-based violence is 24.5% in Pakistan, and there are no official national statistics available on gender-based violence. Similarly, child marriages are 21%. And however, work still need to be done in Pakistan to achieve gender equality. 75% of legal framework that promote, enforce, and monitor gender equality with a focus on violence against women are in place, but it need to be exercised on ground, which is a major main point. We need to emphasize on that. We need the legislators who have the courage to exercise it on the ground. So it's the condition. As of December 2020, only 49.1% of indicators needed to monitor the form from a gender perspective were available, with gaps in key areas, in particular violence against women. So in addition, many areas such as gender and poverty, physical and sexual harassment, women access to assets, and gender and environmental lack of comparable methodologies for regular monitoring. Closing these gender data gaps is essential for achieving gender-related SDGs commitment in Pakistan. So these are the major points and issues which I would like to raise. And thank you so much.